Hello, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Yeah, I did. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to Beyond the Surface with Sharon. If you're in the comments, say hi. How you doing? What y'all doing on this Tuesday? We have a special show for you today. A special show, Beyond the Surface with Sharon, on Tuesday. We are on episode number 7. If you're here and you're watching, say hey in the comments. You want to chit chat for a little bit and see what's happening? We are only on these 2 pages. So somehow we did not get, hey Maj, somehow we didn't get the comments from my personal page last week, like the last couple weeks. So we are going to stream on Beyond the Surface with Sharon on YouTube and Facebook so we can kind of get everybody in here at the same time and we're not like losing comments. So once you come in, say, hey, good evening, Paula. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, Luz. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Tuesday is, Tuesday. Tuesday, it's a little warm, little heat wave coming through. I hope you guys are preparing yourself to cool off from the weather. If you could share the page, you guys are here. We have a great guest coming on. I am super excited. So if you guys, hey friend, Jessica. Jessica. Is that how your dad say it? How's your dad say it? But yes, thank you guys for coming on to watch this episode number 7. It's a Tuesday show. So I appreciate you guys supporting me. We are still here on Thursday. We are here with Dr. Naomi Hill. And we're going to talk about pre-adolescent and adolescent anxiety and depression from a pediatric doctor's perspective. So tune in Thursday. But today, we are here with our good friend, Coach Kippie Langford. She is she's a friend. She is a good girlfriend. She is a girl's girl. I just love her spirit, love her personality. She is so warm, kind. She is loving. She's a good girlfriend, and I am blessed to have her in my life all of these years. We'll have to tell you our story of how we met. It's a fun one. But thank you for coming on and watching Tuesday's episode of Beyond the Surface with Sharon, where life be lifing. So we like to talk here on Beyond the Surface about family, life, and love, where we want to just encourage you, empower you, inform you, and enlighten you on some subjects that we feel like is going on that we can, help you and give you tools to operate in life. So we just really want to give glory to God for just entrusting me with this platform to be here. And I love you guys and thank you for watching. So next up on the show, we have Miss Kippie Langford.
Hello. Hello.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you, my friend?
I am fantastic on this Tuesday episode, honey.
Good.
We had to do something new and special for you.
I appreciate it. You said Tuesday. I was like, hot dog.
Tuesday,
Thank
first
you.
time. I know. We had to get you on here.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Thank you for thinking of me.
You're welcome. And so you want to tell everyone how we met? I don't even know. It's been a while.
Has it been when I braided your hair? Was that
It
like
had,
our first
yes.
official one? So that was like 90.
Were the kids? The kids were little.
That was, it was like 96, 97.
The kids were little.
First met. Mm-hmm.
And I was looking for a braider in Cape May County Courthouse, World, and someone recommended you to me. So I went to Kippie's house, right? And when I get there, and she was like, "Oh, nice to meet you. So nice, so warm." So I sat down, and she was like, "Do you mind if I pray over your head? Because every time I do someone's hair, I would like to pray over them." And I was like, "Wow, you came to the right house, Jesus."
That's right. Listen, I give glory to him. I heard you praying. I was like, that's right. That's why she's my friend. Because
Yeah,
I realized that, what we do, it's good to be able to be here with you on this platform, because I'm like, I remember
yes,
when they were talking about this, right? I
yeah,
remember those things. So it's just awesome to see the full circle and to have God to be the center of it all. Like,
right,
that's amazing. That's so dope. Like, when I was thinking about it today, I was like, even the shirts that you would wear, like, God is dope, right? That's so,
right.
like, these are like the dope God moments. Like, you really did that for me, right? You really did
And he really is super dope. Like he's the
that.
dopest. Yeah. And I
He
love that
is.
we can be grateful and thankful. You know what I mean? And we don't have to hide, like, that we're Christians and God is dope and I love him and
Yep,
he has empowered me with all of these tools and life
exactly.
and skill sets.
Yep, exactly.
So speaking of skill sets, you
Yeah.
want to tell us about your business?
Sure, I sure will. Well, I am an emotional wellness coach. They know me as Coach Kippie. And I have my business is called Intentional Transitions. And
Mm-hmm.
it really helps to empower people, specifically women and women of color, to be able to deal and heal, and move from one position to the others. As in life, we transition a lot and we change a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Transition is just a big word for change, right? And we change
Okay.
all the time. And so, but when we change, I remember, and I know that's one of your questions, when I was going through one of the biggest transitions in my life, and God had to remind me that He's an intentional God. And
Yes.
everything that he does is with intention. And so,
Yes.
if I am going to live my best life, AKA life more abundantly, I have to be intentional about that. And so, what does that look like? And so that was, was just my walk and talk with Jesus that I was doing as I was transitioning, and him
Mm-hmm.
speaking to me and giving me that. And so, by trade, I'm a social worker. I have my undergrad and my master's in social work, going actively pursuing my doctorate now. So
I
look
love that. Congratulations.
Thank you. Getting ready to go there. But a lot of what I do, and even, that's my business, but as my job, I am a director of a grief and traumatic loss program. And so I work with youth
Oh,
who have been
wow.
impacted by substance abuse in Camden, in the hood, in Camden and Gloucester
Okay.
counties. And so, and I'm a lead traumatic loss specialist for the state of New Jersey. So I deal with a lot of trauma and grief, and I help individuals, especially women, to get unstuck. And I think sometimes we don't realize that we're stuck and moments because of the grief that we've dealt with, or the trauma that we've dealt with in our childhood, right? So
Right.
how do we do that? And a lot of that for me, because like you said, I love gathering people, especially women, together.
Yes,
And
you
so
do.
one of the ways that I can help is through self-care, and showing women that self-care is not only is not selfish, but it's necessary. And so how does that look, and how can
Right.
we make that fun, but also make it important to practice and make it sustainable? Not like I'm just going to go around the world, and take
Right.
this fabulous trip. Well, that's not sustainable. How about just take a couple deep breaths? I could do that every day, right? I can, I
Yes.
can journal. We'll talk about that today. I can do those things that are going to help me when it comes to self-care, and let it be sustainable, something that I can do not just one time, but throughout my life, right? So,
Mhm.
yeah, so that's what I
So
do.
those are some of the tools that
Those
you're
are
gonna talk about.
some that we'll talk
So
about.
you said heal and deal, and I so love that. Like
Actually, that's the
heal
name
and
of my
deal.
book, is Deal and Heal.
Deal
And
and heal.
yep,
I
that's the
like
name
it.
of my book that I'm writing. It's called Deal
Okay.
and Heal.
Deal.
And
So you wanna kinda expound on that?
sure, sure. So, I believe we have been taught to the wrong definition of resiliency. We've been
Mhm.
taught to keep on going, like, okay, you're so strong. We hear that. How many of us, if I asked everyone on here who's been listening, that you heard that, right? You
Right.
can raise both hands, your feet, you can do,
Yeah. Raise your
somersaults,
hands in the
right?
comments if you've
Exactly.
heard you're resilient.
You're strong, or you're
You're strong.
resilient, right?
Yeah.
You got this. But a lot of times it's like, we don't want to be strong all the time. Can I just be soft a little bit? And so how am I able to do that? And I believe, and it really, if I can be honest, it wasn't until I started working at the agency that I'm working at, that they understand the importance of self-care and taking care of yourself in order for you to take care of others. And when I tell you they do that, they do it. And so
Yes.
I had to understand, I had to get the proper definition of resiliency. I thought being resilient meant to take a lick and keep on ticking, like, oh, you got that, you can keep on going. But
Right.
I didn't realize that there's a pace to resilience, and depending on the circumstance or the trauma that you've gone through, it may be different for not only yourself individually, but other people as well. That
Yeah.
how And so we can't like say, oh, well, I got over that, or you shouldn't still be dealing with that. Who says? Right? And so
Because, excuse me, because people will say, like, God gives his strongest battles to the strongest
absolutely.
soldiers.
Yes. But come on now. I'm a soldier in the army of the Lord forever. Like, I can't
All the
understand
days of
that.
my life, we marching to Zion, honey.
Praise God for it. But like, I mean, can I get on the back? Can I don't need to be on the
Right.
front line all the time. Do I need to be on the front line every
Yeah.
time? Right. And so what I found out is that again, there's a pace to being resilient. And so everything doesn't require the same amount of time. And I think we've missed
Ah,
it a lot. I
I
think we've
like
missed
that.
it a lot. I think that it's kind of like, okay, someone died in your family. Okay, it'll take 3 months. Oh, you stubbed your toe. Okay, that may take another 3 months. Like they're not the same. They're
Yeah.
not the same. And so there's such a pace when it comes to, being resilient. And so that's the whole deal in heal, because we've been programmed to just continue to go. And basically what's happening, and I don't want to get too
Too
much
deep. Don't
into it.
tell all your book now,
Yeah.
because
But
we need y'all to
yeah,
buy it.
yeah, we want you to buy it. But
Yeah.
there truly is, dealing with like the fight, flight, or freeze, and the upstairs brain and the downstairs brain. And I think because of all the trauma historically and systematically that, culturally that we've gone through, we've been programmed to kind of stay stuck in the downstairs brain, which is reactive. And
Yeah.
so we constantly go, 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 and we never allow ourselves to deal, to pause, to practice the pause, to do all of that. So those things are going to be in the book, and how to be able to um, go from coping, because what we've done for an extremely long time is to cope,
Mm-hmm.
to
Right. We're
heal.
surviving.
Yeah.
Jen. That's your
Yep.
cousin, right? Jen.
Yep.
Jen said
Yep.
we are surviving.
We're surviving, and we
We're in
have to
survival
be able.
mode.
And so why it's so important to understand when intentional transitions, because when you're intentional about it, you
Mm-hmm.
go from survival to thriving, because you're
I love
making it
that.
intentional for you too. So
Yeah.
you're not just, because we've survived so long. That's what we know how to do. But how do you go from survival mode to thriving? Is being intentional about your steps and
It's
being
being
intentional about how
intentional.
you're going.
I
Mhm.
I love that. I am excited
No,
to read your book already, because that
thank
was
you.
so insightful of the survival mode.
Yeah,
Like, you sometimes you're there for so long, you don't even know what it is. You really don't understand what's happening, because
that's
now it's everyday life.
yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So tonight
Mhm.
you are having an event.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm
What
having
is this
an
event?
event. The name of the event is it's actually called Sunset, Sand, and Sisterhood. And it's a
Yes.
series. It's a series of I call it the Super Sister Socials. And so it's, Sunset, Sand, and Sisterhood is going to be happening 3 times this summer. The first one
Mhm.
is going to kick off on June 29th at Albany Avenue in the Boardwalk in Atlantic City at the beach. We are going to be having a journaling session, ladies, and I am asking you to come out. It's so much fun. It's a way to deal and heal.
Come
It's
on.
a way, yep, it's a way to deal and heal. It's a way to be introduced to like-minded women who are just there to kind of be themselves and be, not only vulnerable but transparent. That's a huge difference. I can be
Right.
vulnerable and be like, oh, but transparent is kind of allowing you to be a little bit more of knowing who I am, who Kippie is. So
Yes.
Super Sister Socials, we create safe spaces for women to be able to share, to
Mhm.
to sisterhood and just like self-care. And so we love it. I had one in March. It was a coffee and convo, and we met at a cafe,
Lovely.
and we had met at a cafe and had a book for everyone to read as well, and then just kind of talk, have that time to have that intimate atmosphere where we can just kind of let our hair down. Super Sisters means like, you're able to take like Wonder Woman, you take your cape off, you can be yourself in a
Oh,
safe
like
place.
Superman. So now
Like
you're super.
Superman, we're super
Got you.
sisters. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
because as women, we do so much, we hold so many titles, we have a lot of responsibilities, and there needs to be a space that's just for us, right? And so I tell people all the time, I don't care. I was just on the phone with one of my girlfriends last night, and she's like, I'm going to get to you. And I'm like, you can. And I said, but until then, I want you. She's like, I'm just so busy. And I'm like, you better have 10 minutes. I'm challenging you to make 10 minutes for yourself daily. I don't care. You
Oh,
deserve that
that's
10
so
minutes.
good.
Not only do you deserve it, you need that 10 minutes. So no
So is that a
excuses.
start for people
That's
to
the
start
start.
at 10 minutes?
Start at 10 minutes, and you'd be surprised. You can even journal in 10 minutes, but 10 minutes is that time. You can pray, you can do a meditation, you can do deep breathing, you can go
Mhm.
outside and look at, nature. You can do a lot. Of course, nobody's knocking at my door right now. You can do a lot right now. I'm so sorry. I don't even know
It's
who that
okay.
is.
It's okay. So Jessica said, June 29th at what time?
At
Do you need to get the door?
6:30. At 6:30, I'm going to tell Maja to get it. Hold on one second.
June 29th. It's right there. It's Sunset Sand and Sisterhood Saturday, June 29th at 6:30 p.m. in Atlantic City. I have started Saturday self-care. Yes. It is $25. So Kippy will come back and tell us what's included in the $25, but her Cash App is going straight across. So
Thank
you
you.
guys can Cash App her. And I was letting them know that the cost was $25 and that
Yes, I heard
it's
you. Yep.
6:30.
Yep.
So what is
$25.
included in the $25?
So you get a journal and a journal and a pen set, and then
Mhm.
you get a beverage and a snack. So it's also, you can bring your own beverage and bring your own food. I
Nice.
tend to have music out there as well, and typically at the end of it we do karaoke. We just always have a
Oh,
good time when we journal. It's something that kind of brings the women together. And it allows them to be able to release a lot. And we just have a really, really good time. We had it before at the Inkwell, and now we're just going to change
oh,
it
nice.
to and we're going to change it to Albany Avenue and the boardwalk for this go round.
So where's Albany at? Like which direction? Is that over to if
By
you're
by
facing
Atlantic
the
City High School, if I'm not
Atlantic
mistaken.
City High
Over,
School?
yep,
Got you.
over where
Just
the
so
old
people
high
have
school. Yep, where the old high school used to be. So it's all
okay.
it's over that way. Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So should people bring a blanket, a yoga mat,
Yep,
or what
bring
do
a
you
blanket,
suggest?
bring a yoga mat, bring a beach chair,
Mhm.
something where you can be comfortable, and
Okay.
enjoy yourself. Bring your favorite beverage, whether it be alcoholic, non-alcoholic. I ain't judging, but and it's here, for you to enjoy yourself, so that we can make sure that I want to make sure it's not inside, it's outside. I saw
Okay.
that. Yep. Is
Outside.
it, your sister said, is it inside or outside? So it's going to
So
be
it's
outside,
on
right
the
on the
beach.
beach. Yes,
We're
it is.
on in the
Yep.
sand.
We're on the beach in the sand. Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And so what we do is we get out there at 6:30, and then we'll usually have the sun won't set really until like around 8:15. So we'll have some time to be out there, and love to be prompt. And the journal session, I walk, everyone through what we're
Mhm.
doing. And you also get a journal prompts as well. So I'll have a discussion on what we'll be journaling about, and then have an opportunity for individuals not to share what they've journaled about, but the experience of the
Gotcha.
journaling. Hmm.
Okay. Okay. So speaking of journaling, I went and looked for the definition of journaling. So I
Okay.
wanted to read that to the folks, and then we will have Coach Kippy let us know if we're close to where you're going with your journaling class. So I have journaling is the act of keeping a record of your personal thoughts, feelings, insights, and more. It's a simple, low cost way of improving your mental health. Am I close?
You're very close. You're it. I would just add a little bit more.
Okay.
It's definitely your mental health, but it's also your self care. It's physical as well. I think sometimes we don't realize that when you deal with mental, it's also it's your holistically, right? So I always say God doesn't want us just to be holy; He wants us to be whole as well, right? So
Ooh, I
it's like
like
a
that.
whole and holy.
WHOLE.
Right. WHOLE. So we
Can
want
y'all
to
put
stay
that in the
whole.
comments? Whole, WHOLE.
Yeah. And I think sometimes we just want to be holy, but we miss the whole part of it. And
Right.
so and again, that's the journaling helps you to be able to for mentally, but it also helps you like in every, I think, physically, I feel so much better. I feel so much lighter. It's a mood enhancer, makes you feel a lot better, and it makes you feel like lighter, like you're able to, because you're taking what's in here,
Hmm.
um, and you're able to release it. And people don't realize just how much your brain gets clogged, right?
So is
How
that the process of
hmm
what exactly happens when you journal?
yes, yep. And so it helps you to, and um, there's different types of journaling. So journaling, what it helps you to do is really kind of take I always, think about, in Habakkuk 2:2, where it says, write the vision and make it plain, right?
Right.
It's something that, vision, like journaling helps you to really kind of take it from here and put
Hmm.
it on paper. Because when it's stuck in here, it's just a thought or a dream. When it's written down, it becomes a plan. And
Right.
then when you execute it, now you're doing it. Right now it becomes a thing, a being. It's happening. You're
Right.
manifesting it, right?
Yes,
And so
absolutely.
it comes from just your thought or your dream. And we have so much of what God has given us, visions and dreams, and just a God idea, right?
Yes, a
I
God
always talk
idea.
about a good idea, but when you get
Hmm.
that God idea, it's like, I shoulda,
Right. I
perhaps,
should have wrote
oh,
that down. Now it's
right,
gone.
right.
Yes.
And so some people really sleep with a journal or have a journal right by them wherever, because it's the idea, especially those who are strategic planners.
Hmm.
I have like 3 or 4 journals depending on what I'm doing. Like, but I'll have a notebook or something to write down all the time, because I never want to miss an opportunity of a thought or something that I think is God inspired, or,
Yes.
just something like that. So I believe, or just something that I know that I kind of like want to just deal with a little bit more, that deal and heal. Like, where
Yeah.
did that come from? And oh, that didn't, because I think sometimes we're so quick to speak it out. And when it's here, we
Hmm.
speak it out, and our words, we can never get them back. And they can
Right.
be life or death, right? And we can speak some things. Just imagine how powerful it is if it's here, that you take a few minutes to reflect on what happened and write it out and get a better perspective, so that you and the person won't be offended,
Yeah.
right?
We do
Yeah.
have a question here.
Sure.
Deanna said, what if you don't even know the right words to put together on how you feel at times? Like, how can that person start journaling?
A dear God letter or a dear me letter. Um,
Ooh, that's
I
deep.
I do it to myself. I do it. So one of the things that I do when it comes to journaling too, and I have journaling sessions, we're not going to do it. We're not going to
Hmm.
do it at this one, because I'm going to tell y'all what it is. So we're not going to do that activity this time.
Right.
But one of the things that I do is I had people write a love letter to yourself, and write that love letter um in the present, about, and it could be something that you, or even in the future, that you believe that this is what you want to do, but it has to be in the present tense. It has to
Yeah.
be I am and this. And
Right.
so
You're
you write that,
manifesting it.
yup, and you write that love letter to yourself. And Deanna, that's something that I'll do if I'm having a moment and I don't know what feeling it is, because
Hmm.
sometimes it's hard to identify what that feeling is. And so journaling helps me to identify. And sometimes it can be like, I can be like, God, this is difficult. I don't know why I'm feeling this way,
Yeah.
this. And so I write to God. Sometimes I just will write straight to God and say, I would write my prayer out just like I'm praying to him. Sometimes
Hmm.
I just write it out and say, this is so difficult. I don't understand what this is. And the more that I write, I'm able to get it out there. I'm able to be able to identify, this is what it is, right? And so
Hmm.
that's what it is. It's really taking the time to pause. It's really taking the time to reflect. It's really taking the time to, as my grandmother would say, sit with your feelings and
Sit with your
understand
feelings.
what's going on inside of you. So journaling helps you to get a better understanding as to really how you're feeling, what's
And
going on in your
and it
head.
doesn't have to be like complete sentences. It can
No,
be, and I think a lot of people think it has to be like,
dear
this day, dear
Abby,
Abby type of letters. You can
my
literally
diary.
journal,
Right. Yep.
this sucks right now,
Right.
right?
You can journal. There's sometimes that I'll journal affirmations.
Yeah,
Today you are beautiful,
yeah,
intelligent, strong. And
yes,
I'll just date it and I'll just write down my affirmations for that day. I'll write down, and here's another thing, and I was sharing this with you earlier, but a lot of people don't even know that your to-do list is it's like journaling, right?
yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
here's the wonderful part that I want you to think about when you do to do. Change to do, because sometimes when we do a to-do list, it makes pressure. It makes us like, oh, got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do that.
Yes,
But change that to make it gratitude is
gratitude.
I get to. So instead of I have to, because when we
Mm-hmm.
do, it's like I have to do this. I have to change it to like I get to. I get to exercise. I get to work. I get to go grocery shopping. I get to do the laundry. There's certain things, and it changes your perspective because it's not like I have to do. When you
Right,
think you see, look, my whole posture changed. Like
right.
I have to
Mm,
do this. I have
yeah,
to do that.
because it
You know,
definitely changes the dynamic of your feeling. Like
it does.
it really
It does.
adjusts your attitude.
It does. And
Yeah,
so if you just change the words to like, instead of your to-do list, it's like, I get to do this,
yes,
right? It's like, I get to go grocery shopping. I get to take my children to camp. I get to do that. Exactly.
yeah.
Purpose. I get to
Purpose.
do this, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so it changes that. And it really brings forth to me an attitude of gratitude. And
Yes.
that's so important, when it comes to that. But, journaling, at any given time, like I had mentioned, I don't have them in front of me. I would show you, by Alexander Alexander. I'm so sorry, ELLE Alexander. She's a Black female author, and she does a whole lot when it comes to journaling and healing. She's amazing.
Gotcha.
You probably know who she is because she's on Instagram. She's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of Tab's, when Tabitha Brown went on tour, she stopped in DC, and
Awesome.
Alexander L was there, and she's amazing. And so she has a guided journal, and I got it from Five, as my mom would say, Five and Below. I'm like, Mom, it's Five Below.
Five and
Yeah,
below.
Five
The
and Below.
Walmart. Right.
Right. Walmart's Five and Below. But I got it from there, and that's one of the journals that I will just buy like in bulk and gift people with, because it helps so much. So for those days that you don't know what to do, but you know that you want a journal, there
Mm-hmm.
are guided journals. So
Okay.
guided journals are important, and know that you have them. Um, Again, journals that speak to you. I look for journals that have a positive saying on the front,
Right.
and those are the ones that I'm able to just journal, or and just certain things. Like I said, my to-do list. I changed that into what I get to do.
Right.
Having the opportunity to say I get to do this today.
Yeah. An attitude of gratitude.
Yeah, because I'd be waking up
Yeah.
like I gotta pay the bills.
Right.
I
Now,
got
and we have money to pay the bills. Praise
Come
God.
on, like I get to pay my bills on time. Like I can
Hello, because there was a time.
take it. Come on.
I'm
Yes.
always like that. I'm like, Lord, I got money for gas this week.
Yes.
This is amazing.
Yes, it
Like I'm
is.
always thankful and grateful for even
Yes.
just the little things, just going into the grocery store. And on a day, I can say, you know what? Let me get a little extra because I actually have it to give.
Yes.
Or I can say, okay, well, let me bless this person, or let me do this, or let me, be grateful and thankful and extend it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
So,
so you just reminded me, so that for that person who asked what to journal about, 5
mhm,
things that you're grateful for. You
yeah,
can just write that down. Those are certain little things that you can do. 5 things. You can look on Pinterest. And I'm actually going to be starting them like journal prompts, like for the month, like so what you can journal about, right?
yeah.
And and
I
and
like that.
so I love journal prompts because it's important for us. Sometimes we don't know, but we want to get it out. And once we start, that
Hmm.
thought comes and you're just flowing.
Right. So
Yes.
there are different types of journals.
Mm-hmm.
From what I read, there are gratitude journals, dream journals, reflective journals. You want to tell us what you know about those, and are there like some different other kinds?
Mm-hmm. So gratitude journal is just that we were talking about a little bit. It's like where you're able to write your gratitude, like your list of gratitude.
Hmm.
And I always try to say and try to do 5 at a time, and challenge myself to not repeat. Right? So you want to be able to say, okay, I'm grateful for, my children. I'm grateful for my grandchildren. I'm grateful for my breath. Sometimes I'm just basic with it. Like,
Yeah,
back in the day when the old saints would be like, I thank God for the activities of my limbs. I'm
yeah,
grateful
life,
that I
health,
can
and
move.
strength.
I'm
Yes,
grateful that my body moves. You understand what
right.
I'm saying? Like, and
Yeah.
so gratitude, that's pretty much self-explanatory. You're gonna list it, however you want to. And I always say with journaling, there's no rhyme or reason. It's like you got to do it on this space and 5, and no, you write, how you're led to write. And
Hmm.
then with gratitude journaling, try to do at least 5 things daily that you're grateful for and not repeat it. And
Got you.
then, and so the other one was, what was the other one? Dream?
Reflective,
Reflect.
dream,
Oh,
and reflective.
so dream journaling, I like, but I use the word intentional journaling, and that's really just kind of calling in your intentions, almost like manifesting, right? So
Hmm.
it's what you see yourself doing, right? And
Got you.
how I do intentional journaling is just doing it in the I am, and we have to understand that those 2 words are so powerful. I always say, I am is so important to me because God showed it twice to me in the Bible, and I didn't realize that it was in the New Testament. I always knew it was in the Old when he said to
Right.
Moses, and Moses was shook and like, God, who do you told me to tell Pharaoh, let my people go. Who do I say? And he said, tell him I am that I am. Like,
I
that's
am that
it,
I
right?
am. Right.
And so I am has so much power. And I always tell people, like, people are like, I am is powerful, but they think it's because of the universe. No, it's because God spoke it and said,
Right.
I am that I am. And whenever you use those words, we have to be wise. We have to be careful with them, because you can say, I am happy. I am
Yeah.
this, right?
I am
But you
strong. I am
right.
resilient.
If you use
Yeah.
it the opposite way, that's not good, right? And so I always try to identify that I am when it comes to my feelings. I
Hmm.
never identify a negative feeling with I am. I would say
Got you.
I feel sad.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I am sad because I'm not claiming that,
Oh,
but
I like
I
that.
feel sad, so then I can identify, well, why do I feel sad? And I
So
can
you
change
identify with
that.
your feelings.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yep. So
Okay.
if I won't say I'm depressed, I'll say I feel depressed. Well, why, Kippy, do you feel depressed? Because this happened. So why, when I say I feel, it always brings about a why to help me to resolve it. When I say that I am this way, I'm stuck.
Hmm.
I'm
Right.
stuck.
It puts you in the
Right.
box.
It puts you in a box. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yep.
And
And
I feel
so,
the difference between journaling, I feel, and I am.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a huge
Yep.
difference. So guys, put
Yep.
that in the comments. I
Yeah.
am and I feel. So that way
Yep.
you guys can understand the difference of that. And
Mm-hmm.
especially with speaking things into existence.
Correct.
So you'll say, I am depressed. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
right, words have power, Tamika.
They
Absolutely.
definitely have power.
Yeah.
Yep, and so we have to understand that, and so that's what intentional journaling is being intentional about our words, being intentional about where we are with our purpose, where we see, right?
Right.
Passion. I always say passion and purpose is connected. So what you're
Yes.
passionate about, your purpose is right there with it. So, being able to see, having that vision and seeing where, you're supposed to, you're going. You may not have all the pieces, but you speak that thing. So, I intentional is me seeing myself in 10 years. I'm on a stage in front of 10,000 women talking to
Right.
like, I speak that. Like, that's who God said
So
I
you
am.
speak
That,
and write it. We're
and
speaking
write
and
it.
writing, correct?
I write it.
Okay.
I write it out all the time.
I
I
just
write it.
want to clear be
Yep.
clear for
Yep.
everyone who's watching. We're
Yep.
speaking and then we're also writing.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
writing it.
we're
Yep. So we're
journaling.
talking about journaling. Yep.
Yes.
So,
So
but
can
yes,
you so even in your notes, can you like is that part of in your phone? Like your notes in your phone, is
yes.
that part of
Oh, that's
journaling?
part of journaling as
Because I
well.
have a
Yes,
lot
ma'am.
of like little prompts that this one, this subject, this subject,
Yes.
this subject. So that's technically
It
journaling.
definitely is. It
Okay.
definitely is. And I tell people that all the time. Like, my phone, the notes in here are full
Yeah.
of me You know what I mean?
Yes,
That's how I'm getting it from here to here. Is writing the vision, is making it plain. I'm taking it from here and I'm putting it down. I may not have a pen at the time, but I have my phone and I'm able to have it. That's part of it as well. So yes, it
I
is.
like that.
Yeah.
So what about reflective?
So reflective is so important. That one I don't think is used enough, and that one should be used daily if you can,
Oh.
and especially if you're going through a difficult season.
Mhm.
You should do a lot of reflective journaling, and the reason being is because our minds are so busy with so much, and so reflective journaling helps, especially at nighttime, and that's like to put your phone down at 9 p.m., no later than 9, and think about your day and start writing about your day. Reflect on what happened, the good,
Mhm.
the bad, and then what reflective journaling helps you to do is to kind of go to the next day. So it helps you to do like a foreshadowing, right? It helps you to be
Right.
proactive. But the reflecting helps you to take it from here and get it out so that you can rest. Because when our minds are heavy and we have a lot on our mind, we can't sleep. So if you're having a difficult time sleeping,
Yeah,
reflective journaling is your
I like
key.
that.
Put your phone down by 9 o'clock, no later, and start writing, thinking about your day. Think about what's going on, why you're feeling this way, and then start thinking about some the whys, but how can you make it better? What are certain
Yeah.
things that you can do, and what are ways that you can execute it? Because I think sometimes when we get heavy and we get deep and stuff, journaling helps you to write down solutions and different ways that you can do it, as opposed to just reacting.
Oh,
It's
I like that.
time to respond and being cognitive and writing it down, as opposed to just going. And that's what I was kind of talking about when it comes to the book, with your
Mhm.
upstairs, your downstairs brain, where we react more as opposed to responding and taking our time. Journaling helps you to kind of think. Not kind of helps you to think. It's very cognitive, so it helps you to kind of figure out what's going on in your brain at that time, and being able to write that down, and then take
Mhm.
your time so that you can understand why you're feeling the way that you're feeling.
Because you can literally see the words on the paper now.
Yes.
I like that because now I can say, "Okay, I felt this way."
Mhm.
And now I can see, "Okay, well, why was I feeling that way?" So that's part of the
There
reflective
you go.
journaling?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay. I
Mhm.
like that. I,
Mhm.
um, I don't know if I do that. So how long should we start this journaling for those of us who, I mean, I take notes, but I'm not intentional
Mhm.
with putting a specific time? Like
I
how
think
how should we
15
start?
minutes. 15 minutes. And you'll be surprised if you put your timer for 15 minutes, and start journaling. And if you can't make it to 15 minutes, that's fine. But once you start, you're going to keep on going. And for those who haven't, get some prompts. See something, like if you there's certain things that you'll see, like what's a good journal prompt? Reflective journaling. How
Yeah.
was my day?
How
You
was my
know,
day?
how was my day? Right?
Yeah.
Something really easy, just like that. How was your day? Describe your day, and just take your time and write that out. And that's your day. So it's personal. I can't say, "Oh no, that's not your day."
Right.
Who am I to tell you what your day was, right? But take your time and describe that. Describe how it felt. Describe what you saw, right? Describe all
Yeah.
those things. Be very reflective, because
And be
what
visual, like write whatever it is. Oh, right, Jess, like the rose and the thorn. That's Jen taught us that.
Oh, I love
What
it.
was
Do it
the
all the time.
rose?
I do the
Yeah,
rose
yeah.
and thorn all the time
Okay,
with
yeah.
my staff.
Love it.
I do the rose and thorn all the time. I do pies as well. Did you guys learn pies? Did
We
she teach
didn't.
pies? Okay.
She didn't teach us that
It's
yet.
okay. She will. It's a good one. Yep. I do rose and thorn and pies all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so we can write for 15. So can the 15 minutes get broken up?
You
Because I
can.
know sometimes I'll be like, all right, well, I can write my thoughts here. I got 4 minutes. Let me write something 4 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, I said 10 minutes a day, 10
10
minutes for
minutes.
self care a day.
Hmm.
But if you want to journal, a good journal session is like 15 minutes. And you'd be surprised, especially when I do it with people like, wait, I'm like, all right. So they'll ask, all right, 15 minutes is coming up. Do you need more time? And they're like,
More
yes,
time.
more. But depending on what you're writing about, it could
Yeah.
be it could be 5 minutes. If it's something deep or heavy, reflective, it's going to be
Hmm.
about 15 minutes.
So
Because your
that
day
that
was
leads
more
me.
than 15 minutes. So it's going to
Yeah.
be, think about it. So it's going to be
Right.
more than 15 minutes.
It should be. So that
Mm-hmm.
leads me in the reasons for journaling. So, some of the reasons that I have is personal growth,
Mm-hmm.
problem solving, memory preservation, which you touched on,
Mm-hmm.
creativity enhancement, and stress reduction. I
Mm-hmm.
can definitely hear you already talking about the stress reduction.
Yes. And that's one of the reasons why I love it the most, because it really does. It helps you to do a woosah. It just writing is just, therapeutic to me anyway. You know how
Yeah.
you just write. We don't do enough writing anymore. It's all this. But when we were in school, we had to learn how to write cursive and all that. And it was
Yeah.
very
We did.
therapeutic. Writing is very therapeutic. And so, like you said, memory, if you write it a few times, the more you write it, it becomes, memory to you. And those are good memories, right?
Right.
Again, the cognitive part of it, when dealing with your brain, it's so important for you to be able to release
Mhm.
those feelings, especially if they're negative feelings. One of the types of journaling that I didn't talk about is purging, and that's a really, really good
Purging.
one. I
Purging.
purge journaling, and I
Purge
would
journaling.
recommend you do it with someone. That one's recommended to do with someone. So, what is her name? I always want to call her Fat Amy, and I'm so sorry. That's her name as an actress. Um,
Oh, what's the lady's name? Oh, I know who you're talking about, but I won't call her.
I know,
If you
and
guys know Amy's name in the comments, could y'all put her name in the comments?
from off of what is her name? I don't know. What is her name? It's a unique name too. I can't remember her name, but
Is it Rebel?
Rebel Wilson.
Rebel
Thank
Wilson.
It is. It's Rebel Wilson. So she had lost weight, and she's
Mhm.
going to a therapist to help her. And one of the things, or the tools, that the therapist helped her use was purge, or introduced her to, was purge journaling. And really, it was really kind of just writing down like a negative, like just negative journal, whatever thought was in our mind, anything that was just kind of it could be like negative, like sad, angry, any negative feeling or whatever that she was dealing with, she would write it down. And
Gotcha.
what it did was it stopped her from impulsive eating or emotional eating.
Oh, get out of here.
And so, and because if you think about it, just a coping mechanism, right?
Correct. It
And
is.
so, right. And so she did that. And one of the ways where she was able to, thank you, one of the ways that she was able to lose weight and to keep it off was using purge journaling. And so what she would do is she would just take all those negative thoughts. And once she was finished with it, she had to release it. And the only way that you can release it was like through either burning it, or throwing it in the trash, um,
Mhm.
ripping it up, like signifying that that thing was done. When I purge journal, I usually do it at the beach. Thank God
Got
paper
you.
is biodegradable.
Yes.
And when I have a tough time, I'll go and I'll journal whatever that is, and I'll literally shred it up and just throw it into the sea. And when I release it into the sea, it's
I love
me
that.
releasing that,
All of
release.
it.
Releasing all of it.
Okay, so purge journaling. I love that.
Mhm.
Purge journaling. That could be, so that could be a thing if you're like dealing with like some trauma after you've like
It could
when you
be.
talk, right?
It could be
Yeah.
trauma, it could be grief,
Grief,
definitely.
trauma.
Mhm.
Okay, I like that. Okay. So, personal growth with journaling. So, is that writing the vision, make it plain?
Yes, and it's a lot of goal setting. So per
Goal
and
setting.
people don't realize that journaling is goal setting. It's writing out your goal,
Mhm.
and the action plan to achieve that. So that's a part of journaling as well. It's goal setting, personal growth. It helps you to be able to, see your next step, see where I want to go, right?
Right.
Writing it out, saying, okay, this is what I want to do. It helps you to identify your feelings and your emotions, because I think sometimes we only identify the ones like that are negative, or that's sad. We can identify anger, we can
Yes.
identify hurt, sadness, right?
Yeah.
But we don't really kind of go into, I'm disappointed. That's a feeling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and so but we're only kind of stuck with like a few of them to identify what our feelings are. And so when we're able to really kind of write that out and identify what it is and why it is, that helps
Yeah.
you grow. That helps you to, that's that deal and heal that helps you to grow.
Deal and heal. Right. So
Mhm.
keep circling back to it. We cannot wait.
Thank
It's
you.
going to bless us so much. So memory preservation. I remember, what's his name? Is his name Tavis Smiley? Is that his name? He would always say when he was on the radio, this is years ago, he would always say like, have like a little personal recorder,
Mhm.
like with like the little tapes. I guess we have
Mhm.
phones now where we can record, where you can just get your thoughts together on there. Because sometimes, like a thought will come and God will bless it with something and an idea or a business, and then it's
Mhm.
gone.
Yes.
And then you be like, man, what happened to that? Oh, and
Mhm.
I wanted to write it, or I wanted to, and I know I can't text and drive and all of that. So sometimes I'll definitely like pull over and go on my notes and
Yes.
tap it out and write whatever it is down and just be like, okay, dreams or goals and all of that type of stuff. So I do have like a list of stuff in my phone for dreams
Mhm.
and goals. And
Mhm.
we're on one. Hello, come on, Jesus. So yeah, so I can say I don't journal. You know what? I do write. I can't even say I do write. I have a
Mhm.
thousand. Look at him looking at me. I have a lot of notebooks around here with a lot of like ideas
Mhm.
and sentences and paragraphs about a thousand things. Like
Yep.
post-its are all over. What are them little note cards? So
Mhm.
yeah, so technically, am I journaling?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Yep, you're getting them out, and then using it to, be able to go back to that. So there's, for my business, I have a notepad or journal just for my business. So it's actually a vision board, journal where
Okay.
I take, all those things that are on my vision board and I journal and I write, okay, if this is what I'm going to do, what does that look like? And so I plan, and that's me planning it. It's me, this is what the next step's going to look like and all that. And so I'll
Mhm.
go back, and if I get an idea that's business related, I go to that journal because I want to keep those ideas that are like business
Oh,
there.
gotcha.
That's just me when it comes to it because I
No, it
want to be
makes
like,
sense.
what did I write? Because there's been
It's
times
in
that I
the
was like,
journal
where did I
from
put it?
upstairs 2 years ago that's under
Yeah.
something.
Yep.
That's where my stuff is. Okay, so that makes sense. I like that.
Yeah, and so I'll do
Okay.
that. If it's just personal and I'm dealing with some stuff, I have a personal journal where I just write, things down. One of the things I went away for my birthday celebration, and
Yes.
I told myself every morning I was going to get up with God and journal, and like sunset, and I mean
Mhm.
sunrise. And so I did sunrise, sand, and not sisterhood, but it was sunrise, sand, and God, right?
I know that's right.
Every morning I was up while I was there and just journaling, and it was more of a gratitude journal, right? So it
Yeah.
was a journal entry every morning. I'm like sitting looking at God's creation, like how why do you love me so much that you allow me to experience this? And so I was able just to kind of be in the presence and just be grateful for what I was experiencing. And
Yeah.
so every morning I would just get up, sit at the same place, talk
Mhm.
to the same God, but my journal entry was different each morning because he showed me something else different about, what I was experiencing and what I was feeling. And so I was
I
just
love that.
able to, write that down too. So it's just moments where you're able to, I've taken time to carve out, um, for time for journaling. And it's funny, I'm gonna put a plug in for her because I absolutely love her. I don't know if you know
Yes.
of her, but Dr. Anita Phillips, she is the therapist that works along with Sarah Jakes Roberts. You've probably seen Dr. Anita, she's bad.
Mhm.
And she's like my mentor. I met her. You couldn't tell me
Awesome.
I love that woman. She's like, listen, she imparted in me. She did the whole Elisha, and I'm like, thank you, Lord, because I
Ah,
knew it. But I was so intentional with it that when I went to go see her, I was
my
like,
God.
I was like, God, I'm gonna meet her. I
Yep.
had no clue that I was going to meet her, but I spoke. I said, I'm going to meet her. She's going
Mhm.
to sign my book. I'm taking my book. She's going to sign my book. And not only did I get a chance to meet her, She called all of the women, all of the people who worked in mental health, and she called us over, and she spoke life into us, and she talked to us,
Awesome.
and she said, she was just talking about the importance of journaling, and I was like, that's why I rock with you, like that's why I
Right.
love you.
Right.
And so it's so super important to be able to do that, because that's your outlet. That's the late in the midnight hour when God's going to turn it around. When
Yeah.
you have, and you're dealing with some stuff, it's so important to be able to release that. Um, you
Oh,
know,
that's what I was going to mention. Like, is that kind of my cup is full and I need to empty it out? Journaling
Yes,
is
it
a way.
can. Yes, it definitely is.
Okay.
It definitely is. It helps with anxiety. That's one of the benefits of it. It helps with anxiety, to clear your mind.
Hmm.
Because a lot of what anxiety is like kind of like the unknown, or the anxious of like what you anticipate to happen, right? So when you can really kind of identify those feelings and have a plan, like, and it doesn't have to be so big, but taking the time to be like, you know what, this is why I'm afraid. A lot of people don't
Yeah.
want to see why we're fearful, but you can write it in your diary, dear diary. No, this season, but like really, like it's like, okay, this is why. And so sometimes you don't know how to say, but you can just write like, I'm dealing with this. It's not, you don't
Yeah.
have to come to your diary like you're coming to God. It's just like, I mean, or your journal. It's like, I'm just having a difficult time, with this, and just start, writing about it. So it really, really helps you to identify, where you are and what you're dealing with. And then once you are able to identify it,
Hmm.
you're getting the why. So now you can start working on some solutions, or just have a better understanding, which is so important.
So when we were kids and we would have this diary, Miss Dear Diary, we would
Hmm.
have these diaries and we would write when we was younger. So
We were
we
journaling.
we were journaling. So do we encourage parents to have their kids journal?
So I don't even know if she's on here, but when I was going through my divorce, that was the one thing that I had my daughter do, because she was holding a lot trapped in, and I
Yeah.
gave her a journal, and I told her,
Hmm.
I would skim through just to kind of real quick to look for words like, the imminent danger to herself or others, right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't want, it was difficult, so I wanted to make sure that she wasn't trying to hurt herself,
And she was
right?
being safe. Yeah.
Right, and that she was being safe. But once I realized that she was just being safe, I did that a couple times. I allowed that to be her outlet, and I gave her privacy when it came to that, because she needed to be able to get those feelings out, to understand that how she was feeling, and that was what she was going through sucked, right?
Right.
And she's able to say that this sucks, like I
Right.
don't like it, right? Or whatever her emotion, her feeling was,
Yeah.
because it helped her to be able to like to deal with that, instead of having it trapped up and how you're feeling. Oh, I'm okay. No, you're not. Like if you're not, but creating a safe space for her in
To
order for her to
express.
be able to express how she.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like that. I like that as a parent. Like you created that space for her because a lot of times, kids, you don't know what's going through your kid's mind or what they're dealing with, but giving them a journal and respecting their space. You said,
Mhm,
I mean,
mhm,
because they're teenagers and they're little people, so kind of give them like a little leeway. But like you said, make sure what you skim through, make sure whatever they're
mhm.
writing is safe. But I like that you can get your thoughts out.
Right.
Get your thoughts out.
Mhm,
Ronnie said, journaling is my safe space. Journaling, a lot of people love journaling. Journaling
mhm.
really turns into books.
It
Is that
does.
what happens?
Oh, that's exactly what happens. That's
Okay.
exactly what happened, and for me, journaling, to me, and I believe just because that's the gift that God has given me when it comes to journaling and teaching journaling,
Hmm.
journaling to me is like prophetic. I can write something and God will show me, I can be inspired by God, and then I can go back and read it and be like, this really came,
Yeah.
God, you
Yeah.
really did that.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So
Right. Write the
journaling,
vision and then it
definitely,
comes. Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, it is. And it's happened over and over again. So I definitely know that that is something that he's given me. But
Hmm.
it's a tool for me to teach other people how to journal, because of the importance, like you said, all those benefits that are associated with journaling.
And for those that have just tuned in or are late to the party, we are talking to Coach Kippie. and she is having a sunset sand and sisterhood journaling event. It's in Atlantic City. On what day, ma'am?
On June 29th at 6:30 p.m. outside at the beach.
Outside of the
Albany,
beach.
listen, I'm getting it. Albany Avenue and the boardwalk. Bring your beach chairs, your towels, your blankets. It's all for the good price of $25, and that includes a journal and pen set, as well as a snack and beverage. But you can also bring your own beverage and bring your own food. And so it's going to be a great time.
You're
Like
going to
I,
teach us to. I already brought my ticket, so I will see y'all there. For those who are
yes.
coming, I am there in the sand. I think I'm going to bring like a blanket so I can kind of be one and ground myself. I want to
Mm-hmm.
ground myself.
Yep.
So are we turning phones off or putting them on silent, or what's happening?
So that's the one thing that I do ask, that when we're definitely doing the journaling part of it, because I'll have some music, but there'll also be the sound of the beach, the waves. Um, I will ask you to turn your phones off for like that 15 minutes, uh,
Hmm.
probably 20 minutes, because I'll do some talking and instruction with
Yeah.
that. But it's really that time to be present. And so in order to be present, it's really to take that, turn our phone off for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Because it does take us a little while to kind of get out of that mentality that our brain is doing this and tend
Right.
to settle it,
It does.
right?
It takes a little bit. I tell people all the time, they're like, we don't know what to write about. And I said, and it usually right around the 5 minute time period, people start writing. Some people can go, right away, but then it takes a little bit of time, like you said, to settle in, right? To
Yeah.
kind of think about what you're going to write about. Your brain still is trying to process, even though you want to write it out. So, but once your brain gets with your hand, your writing takes over and you'll be good.
Now, are you going to have blue ink? Because I like blue.
I got you.
I like blue
It's
ink,
so
man.
funny because I'm so specific. I'm like, I'm the same way. I have certain pens that I journal with. It's
Yes.
funny. I'm that way. You can
Okay.
ask Heather.
Okay.
I have certain pens that this is the pen that I'll have. I even took them away on vacation. There's certain pens that I need to journal with. So
Right.
that's important. I'll have blue and black ink. And if you need
Thank you.
pencil, I'll do that too.
Okay.
I got
So we are getting a journal, a pen. We are
yes.
getting some drink, but
Yeah.
you are encouraged to bring your own and to bring, if
Hmm.
you hungry, bring your own food, people.
Right.
Don't,
Because it's a snack, not a
it's
dinner.
a snack, not a dinner.
All right.
It's $25. Y'all getting a journal and a pen and a
Right.
snack and a drink. So if
Right.
you are thirsty, bring your own drink. Can you take like a cooler and stuff, like little fruit, whatever?
We have a good time. That's what I'm trying to tell
Ooh,
people. We have a good time. That the
I
last
like it.
time we had karaoke going on. We had 80s and 90s hip hop and all kind of R&B.
Oh,
We
yay.
just have fun. We try to have fun. And like I said, creating that safe space for sisterhood and for
Yeah.
just being able to share and self-care.
Okay. So, does anyone have questions? Questions. We're going to take some questions from Coach Kippie. Are you open to questions?
I am.
I mean, I did just say it, but I just wanted
And
to.
I saw some good people on here too. So
I
hi, y'all.
know.
It's so good. I saw some names going across the board. I think I
Yeah,
saw
some of them. There's some of your folks showed up.
yeah, Ronise and Luz and Heather and hey y'all.
Oh yay! Hey Heather, super sister.
I know.
Right? What were you going to say?
Oh, thank you, Jess. I was going to say super, you just said it, super sister. So if y'all don't know, I know earlier Shireen said that I had I met her by braiding her hair, but she is original, she's the OG of Super Sisters
Let them know.
sleepovers. We the OG stands for original girl. Um,
Hello.
right. There were 10 of us that I prayed about and led to invite, and I think a total of 7 showed up. And so Heather was one. My friend on this line, Shireen was one, and Jen was one. And
Hmm.
so we had a great time. And that was back in
We did.
2020 in January, right before the pandemic hit.
Oh, that was right before
Yeah, right
COVID. Oh
before
my
COVID.
gosh,
And so, 4 years, celebrating, it was amazing. We
it
went
was.
to this last one we did. The Lord told me, it's time to make it bigger and expand out. And so we went to the Quabbin Mansion in Pennsylvania. and it was just us, and we had an
Wow.
amazing time. I think there was 15 of us all
Oh my
together,
gosh.
and we just had the best time. Monique, the owner
Mhm.
of
Love
the
her.
estate, I love her. I love her. She sat and she served us like none other, and she spoke into our lives like none. I thought
Mm,
that,
I love that.
she poured into me. I was pouring into everyone, but she poured in not only to me, but everyone. And,
Yeah.
just established a great relationship. And we had an amazing time. So from that, the ladies were like, this is, like, we got to keep this going. And so that's how Super Sister Social started. And so we try to do events throughout the year that are low,
Okay.
costing affordable events for women, creating those safe spaces, and
Yeah.
having themes and doing self-care, and just coming together. So there will always be a theme. It won't last more than 2 hours. If you choose to stay longer than 2 hours, that's on you. um,
Right. And
but
it's affordable. Keep
and it's
affordable,
affordable.
people.
Exactly.
$25.
It's
Yeah.
affordable, so I try to make sure. I love you too, Ronise. I try to make sure that it's affordable and that everyone can, be included. So
It's
we'll do
my
coffee,
niece is beautiful.
combo. She's
That's a b
gorgeous, isn't
Oh my
she?
gosh. I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, she's gorgeous. That's my friend. She's an author too. That's my homegirl. She's a coach as well. She's just a great, great woman. You would love her. I can't wait for you to meet. I'm
Can't wait.
always connecting somebody. I'm like, yo, ooh, you.
Right.
And that's what we do. We do a lot of networking. Somewhat, it's always good to be able to be around people. I always say whatever's needed is right inside the house, right?
Yeah.
Right wherever we are. And so that's one of the things that I love to do as well is, you know, bring forth a atmosphere of community and not competition. It,
Right.
you will definitely shy me away with competition. I will not be around.
At
But if you
all.
talk about empowerment and sisterhood, you got me every single time.
Right.
So I
There.
think it's
Sign
so
me up.
exactly. I think it's so important to be able to, pour into each other and show the next generation. And so that's what I've been doing. I've been inviting younger women on here and just being a part of it as well, so that they can understand the importance of self-care as they are growing into their adulthood and, getting their jobs and
I
starting their
like that.
families, understanding that sit early to make some time for yourself and
I
what
like
that
that.
looks like.
I like that you said to so I'm going to be intentional and bring someone who is of a different age range, because I feel like had I had some of these tools at a younger age,
Mhm.
I would have been able to cope. Is that a
Yes.
good word? Cope?
Mhm.
To cope and
Yep.
deal with, some of my life issues a lot better.
Right.
So I am going to, and if you guys are coming, I hope that you guys are coming. Bring someone, maybe of a lower age range so they can get some tools. Cause I think that is an amazing thought to have. Like if I'm
Funny
in my
that you
25s,
mentioned.
30s,
Yep.
like
Yep. Right.
journaling can change. It changes the trajectory. Because
Mhm.
you're now, oh, okay, I can do this. Let me get my thoughts out. Okay, now God has given me visions and dreams, and I know what to do with those. And then, like you work with grieving and trauma family, like that has to be
Mhm.
tough. But you are equipped, honey.
Thank you. I'm trying.
Equipped for the
That's
time
right.
such as this.
That's right.
So I will see everyone. Everyone, do y'all hear that? Everyone. We'll see you guys on June 29th, 6:30. Atlantic City. What is
Yes.
it? The West Side?
Albany and,
Albany.
yep, Albany and the Boardwalk. That's over there by Old Atlantic City, High, right, Heather? The bestie
Oh,
gave me the address. I'm almost positive that's where it
okay.
is. Yep.
Yeah.
And so I'll be right out there. And what I'll do is I'll just give yes. What I'll do is I'll give an update on social media platforms as to, the location, and I'll be, right out there to let you know all those who have registered. If you are coming, please try to not register, but like pay, so I'll know who it is, and
Mhm.
be able to give specifics. And then, you'll have my number for those if you are lost. But I'll be right out side on the boardwalk, and then we'll walk down together onto the beach.
Okay. So what's your Cash App so the folks can send you this $25?
Oh, it is IT, stands for Intentional Transition Coaching. So it's IT coaching.
IT coaching. Oh, the new Stockton building. I know where that's at. All I needed was a
Yep.
a
So the
little
new Stockton
yeah.
building. Thank you so much. Yep.
Okay. Okay. Okay, what else? Oh, what are your handles? Your social media handles so people can follow you.
Thank you so much. I am Coach Kippie on Instagram as well as Intentional Transitions on Instagram.
Mhm.
And I am Intentional Transitions on Facebook and Coach Kippie on Facebook. So it's so easy. I have two. I don't know why. It's not that I'm that important. My marketer was like, we need another
Yeah.
account for you.
The
So
more
that's
pages
good.
the
So,
better.
right.
So
So,
follow Coach Kippy on all of these pages
yeah, Coach
on
Kippie
Facebook.
or yes, Coach
Go ahead.
Kippie and Intentional
Intentional
Transitions on
transitions
Facebook and Instagram. And I'm Kippie Langford on LinkedIn.
on LinkedIn. So you can follow her there. Yeah, you know what? I'm not on LinkedIn, but I hear it's like a good place to connect with a lot
It
of
is
people.
professional. It is.
Yeah.
Be on there.
Okay. So if you
Mhm.
guys want to go on there, go on there. I might try to hop on and see what's going on. But thank you. Thank you. This
Thank
was so
you.
informative. You know
Oh,
what?
thank
I
you.
always be like, Lord, I just want this show to be, to empower and inform and encourage. And every show just gets better and so much better
Oh,
with just the information and the
that's
sharing and the amazing guests that come on.
awesome.
So I try to give the viewers like someone to listen to that's professional and they know what's going on and they know what they're doing. So I appreciate you
Mhm.
coming on a
Oh, thank
Tuesday.
you. Come on now. I made sure I was here. I wouldn't miss it.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on a Tuesday. So this has been great. I appreciate you. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you for having me. It's been a blast.
You're welcome. Oh, thank you, Paula. A very
Thank you.
wonderful, informative segment. Thank you. Not next week. My God, Thursday, we are here. We are back. So Thursday, we have Dr. Naomi Hill Hugh. She is a pediatrician. So it's Dr. Hill. She will be here to talk about pre-adolescent and adolescent anxiety and depression and what a pediatrician has to do with it. So tune in on Thursday at 6:30. We will be back here. We will be using these pages. Somehow my other page, my Shireen Colson page, kind of gets a little funky with the comments. So we're going to stream here so we can see all your comments. But I thank you all for viewing and watching. I'm always grateful that people are here and there's viewers and there's comments because I take nothing for granted. God has given me this platform, and I am just going to use it to the best of my ability that He gives me. And I will see everyone. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you guys for watching. Much blessings to you. I will see everyone on Tuesday. Tuesday at 6:30. Dr. Hill will be here for
Right?
pre-adolescent and adolescent. Go ahead.
Thursday, right? Thursday.
Thursday. What I say? Tuesday?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Hilarious.
I want to make
All
sure
right.
that y'all tune in on
You know what
Thursday.
this is? Yes. Tune in
And
on
this is the first
Thursday.
Tuesday. So tune in on Thursday.
Listen to Coach Kippy, please. Yes, tune in on Thursday. Dr. Hill will be here and we will take a lot of questions on that show. So
Good.
have your questions prepared for pre-adolescent, adolescent anxiety and depression through the pediatrician's lens. So yes, definitely view Coach Kippy. Ma'am, this has been amazing,
Oh,
informative. I love it. I love that purge journaling. I am going to do that.
good.
I'm here for that. Yes,
Good.
and I've seen a lot of comments saying that they love the purge journaling.
Good.
So
Good. Good.
I
Good.
I appreciate all the tools
Yes. We
you
need
have
that.
given us, and we're looking forward to your book. So we will see you on the 29th,
Thank you.
6:30 in
Love
Atlantic
you. Thank
City.
you,
I love you.
everyone.
All right, guys. See you later.